Welcome to Metro Matters. Today, I have Miss Yolanda Baker.
Yes, ma'am.
Madison Weaver. And is it Leigh? Leanne Burke. And we're going to talk about the PAL program. Yes. So welcome, ladies, to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So before we dig in to PAL, let's go back. Tell us a little bit. Introduce yourself. I know I've said your name, but
yes.
Talk to us a little bit about what you do, because this is a LMPD program. So talk about your background and how long you've been with LMPD and all of that.
So with my background, I came on in 2000.
Okay.
So myself and retired Sergeant Leigh Burke, we was in the same police academy class, the Louisville Police Department. Okay. Of course, we merged in 2003. Long story short, I retired in 2020, but the then Chief Yvette Gentry asked me to come back 3 months into my retirement, so I came back. And here I am now working for Chief Gwen Bilawell. And so with that, I am her adjunct. So I'm her personal assistant, basically, for the police department. And along with that position, I was also tasked with being the director of the PAL program because the previous director, Rick Poland, took another job.
He did.
So he was wonderful, and so we're just trying to get someone as wonderful as he was to fill his shoes. So for now, everyone is stuck with me. And then that
Rick came on the show a couple of times, so he was always so excited to tell us about the many activities.
And you have to be passionate about it.
He's very passionate about it.
And just love it. And so when Chief asked me to do it, I was more than thrilled to do it. I love the kids of our community. It's one of the factors as why I became a police officer in the first place, you know, to be there. And
so Madison, how long have you been? Are you a LMPD officer or are you a citizen?
I am a citizen. Okay. I am not sworn.
She is our professional staff.
Professional staff.
Yes.
Okay, and how long have you been with LMPD?
Less than a year, so about 6 months. So yeah.
Okay. And what drew you to work with the PAL program?
So I really wanted to do something in the field of just wanting to help. I never really wanted to be a police officer and go down that path, but I wanted to help with my degree through the admin program. So just kind of, I saw the program on the website and I was like, wow, this is a good start. You know, I'm new to Louisville. So whenever I saw it, I was like, this is a good community, you know, with things that have happened in the past. You know, this is beneficial with what I like to do. You know, I'm pretty eager to always help kids, you know, in any way possible. So I thought, you know, even if it's behind a computer screen, making the admin part, you know, better, you know, why not try that? So that's what I did.
And Leanne, tell us about how long, so you guys were in the academy?
Yes,
together.
Back in 2000. So I just retired back in August.
Okay.
And Miss Yolanda Baker brought me back in January. She said, come on, I need some help. So I am the chief's administrative assistant.
Okay.
And we work in the same office. And since Yolanda's involved in this, I got involved in this.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
It's the teamwork.
And that's what it takes to make something successful. It takes an army.
It does.
You know,
it really does.
To get it done. So we've mentioned PAL. What is PAL?
PAL is the Police Activity League. So activities.
Okay.
It was named Police Athletic League, but now it's the Police Activities League.
Because it's just not everything
it's
athletic,
not
and
athletic.
We'll dig into that.
Yes.
And so when did this get established? Is this something new, or is it something focused just in Louisville?
No.
Or tell us a little
PAL
bit about
is a national organization throughout this country and in some other countries as well. So PAL was established in the early 1900s by a commissioner of another police agency. So he's, while on patrol, he realized that some underprivileged kids, to keep them out of the life of bad behavior and down the road of criminal activities, he realized that something had to be done. So this is way before, think about it, 1900s, before we had the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA and stuff like that. So he was able to get a vacant lot that the city that he was in. he turned that vacant lot into an activity center for kids throughout that community to come in and have something to do. So that is how PAL really got started.
Okay. And so they're chapters? Is
They're
that what I'm
chapters.
understanding?
Every law enforcement agency has one.
Oh, cool.
Yes, you have them in Boston, Florida, California. Indianapolis has a really great PAL program.
So do you all have the same missions and goals?
We all have the same mission.
Oh, okay.
The same mission is to bring our youth of our community, plus the community, their parents, and law enforcement together.
Okay.
To forge that bond, a positive relationship, because we all know how it could be.
Absolutely.
But we also know that with that, a lot of officers now, even on LMPD, the Louisville Metro Police Department, are officers because of officers in the past that they had interaction with. So
awesome.
That is our mission, is to bring them together in a positive form. But it's not just that. It's also teaching our kids compassion, sportsmanship, confidence, to be respectful, and not only just to others, but of themselves as well.
So talk about the program itself, not necessarily getting into the activities, but the program itself. So it's officers can volunteer to be part of this program, and then they're paired with a child, or how does that, or they oversee a particular activity. You want to talk about that?
I can say a little bit to it. Some of them actually run the program, and they bring it to our attention of, hey, this would be great for the community. I want to, make this a part, and I want to connect it with PAL. We already have PAL kids, so we're like, sure, let's get it involved. So like swimming, running. We have, again, a lot of events, and people, like police officers, bring a mission of how they want it to happen, and we accommodate, we make it work, and we get the kids involved. And
Cool. And so with this program, is there a cost to it?
The best part about this program is that there is no cost to any child and their parents that want to participate.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the reason being is in part of Chief, Mayor Greenberg, and Metro Council. Because people don't realize that when we speak of Louisville Metro Police budget, that budget includes community outreach. And so with that, we're just thankful of this Mayor Greenberg, and this Metro Council, and of course we would be remiss to mention our chief, to put money aside for this program. And so it helps parents that cannot send their kids to certain programs that they can come to and participate. For instance, gymnastics. We all know how expensive gymnastics is, right? We have a professional staff member that she loves gymnastics, and so she participates. She does it. She teamed up with a local gym, and we were able to team up with them. And now we are providing, over 79, 80 youth in our community throughout Metro government. Our mission is that we hit every angle of Metro government, meaning West,
Metro
South,
Louisville.
Metro Louisville.
Okay.
That we hit every angle, the West End, the South End, the East End, and even some that are in Southern Indiana.
That is awesome. So before we go there, because I want you to break down what activities you actually have, do you need volunteers?
Yes. We love volunteers. Yes. Yes. Not only just with our law enforcement officers, they're great, but I need more of you all to participate as well. But we also need, the parents, because that's part of the community. It's not just sending your child to us, to the program. It's you volunteering as well.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. We even, for basketball, we had some kids that needed community service hours.
Yes.
So they came and they helped do the scoreboard for us. So they got their community service hours.
Oh, yes.
While being a part of that.
While being a part of it.
So are you working with the schools to let people, how do people know about it?
We put out, the big thing now is social media. So we do Facebook and Instagram. But also Madison, who is an expert, to make sure that everyone that has signed up on our website, she personally emails every single person that has signed up and give them that information. Wow. And word of mouth from other officers. Like we have, our officers are our biggest supporters to get the word out about PAL. So we get it out there. And plus, parents from one program will go and say, oh, my son is involved in this, and they'll talk to their best friend, and then it gets out to them. And so right now, like, we have over 500 kids in PAL, and some kids we just have to, like, put them on a wait list for certain activities.
Wow. That's amazing to
it's
have
great.
a wait list.
It's great.
That's a good, you can look at it both sides, but to have
that
a wait list, that
and
is
wanting
amazing.
to be involved, what warms our heart is to see them interacting with officers. We all know out there how it could be, but we know the truth as well. And to see these youth and their parents, no matter what their race and gender may be, they are interacting with our officers, and that just makes my heart warm.
Absolutely. Madison, give us, how can we find out, how can our listeners find out more about the PAL program? Give us your social media, your email address, however they can follow up with that.
So originally we've been going off our personal work emails, but we just recently had a Louisville Metro PAL email. So it's Louisville Metro PAL at louisvilleky.gov. You can email on there. It goes to one of us, and we email back. Typically, it's more of me because when she is busy, but if I am busy, she emails. Like somebody will email right away. We have a phone number that you can call as well, and then we also have a Facebook page that you can message off of.
Do you know the number?
I could tell you. I have it on my phone. Unfortunately, I don't know it on the top of my head. I do
We'll
apologize.
come back after break. We'll give that information out, and I want you to give out. Do you have a web page?
Yes.
What's the web address?
Yeah, so it's actually just on the regular LMPD page. We have a category where you can go to, and it's under Louisville Metro PAL. You go straight to it, and you can fill out our interest form and anything that you want your child to be a part of.
And it gives you all that information, like some of the background of PAL is a national program.
National program, our mission.
There's YouTube, some videos on there of a child. That's actually how the PAL helped him. So it says a little bit about that.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a moment and take a brief break. And when we come back, we'll have all of the contact information if you're interested in volunteering. And we'll continue this conversation about the various activities that PAL offers.
My name is Lieutenant Alicia Rudy. I'm with the Louisville Metro Police Department's Business and Bank Robbery Unit, and we also handle the carjackings. What we're here today to do is discuss with our businesses, the folks in our community, how they can protect themselves from these things and some tips and tricks to try to avoid being a victim of these violent crimes. Each of the 8 patrol divisions has been provided with a stack of these posters. During their downtime between runs, the officers are distributing them amongst the businesses on their beats. If you are a business owner and you have not received one of these, please feel free to stop by your local division, and they'll be glad to provide you with one, and or contact the robbery unit. So far this year, business robberies are up 8%. We're at a total of 113, and carjackings are down 7%, and we are at a total of 199. Robbing a business will get you 10 to 20 years in prison. The same is true for armed carjackings. For both business robberies and carjackings, things like being aware of your surroundings. When you park in a parking lot, which is where most of these carjackings are taking place, pay attention to your surroundings. Trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right, make a lap around the block. Park in a more well-lit area. Travel in pairs or groups. Oftentimes, the victims of carjackings are people who are looking down at their devices on their phone, on their iPad, sitting in the car, hanging out. If you do find yourself being a victim of one of these crimes, be a good witness. If it's a carjacking and you're in a parking lot, make a scene, cause a ruckus, make someone look your way or call for help. If you're inside a business and it is robbed, be a good witness. Try to get a description rather than just drop your stuff and run out the door. Try to get a good description, clothing, direction of travel, if you see the suspect get into a vehicle, anything that might help us track down these violent offenders.
So Madison, before we went on break, you were giving us all of the social media platforms, email, phone numbers, in case someone wants to follow up with you after this program or just needs more information. So would you give us that, please?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so the phone number that you could use to contact us would be the 502-716-4763. You can text, email us, text or call us. I will always answer, text back anytime. And then for our website, you go to just the regular LMPD page, which is louisville-police.org. You go through the menu side, and then it should tell you exactly education and events, and then Louisville Metro PAL will be right there. You can click on it, and it tells you all the information about the PAL program.
So we've talked around what the activities are. So let's dig into it. What type of activities do you have? Let's dig into
it. We probably have over 20 activities. We have monthly bowling. Okay. We have monthly and yearly boxing. So when I say monthly and yearly boxing and wrestling, that means there is no cutoff time. Oh. So our young men and women that are involved in the boxing and wrestling program is continuous. Okay. And so we have some fabulous talent here in Louisville, especially with our boxing. Okay. Amazing. And we'll talk about this later, but we got some events coming up for that. You all can interject. I know we have...
we just finished basketball.
We just finished the basketball league. We have fishing is about to start, and we'll get into that as well.
Did you say the chocolate class?
Chocolate class. So we have we have chocolate.
Really?
Oh, yes. And so each child that signed up as a surprise, because that's just how we are, for the chocolate dipping class. Another professional staff member, that's what she does, Miss Dawn Hall, amazing. And so after each class, we did 2 classes a day for 2 days, and every class was during spring break to give the kids something to do for spring break to save parents again, something to do. But they went home with their own melting pot and the ingredients from the class.
Well, cool. You know what I failed to ask, and we're going to go back to the activities. What's the age on this?
It does vary depending on what it is. We start at 3 years old and we go up to 18. 3 years old for like gymnastics. That is new. Typically, I want to say it starts around 6 to 8. But different events, does vary. Like chocolate class, we're not going to start, at 3 years old with certain, them in the kitchen. But yeah,
chocolate everywhere.
Yes. So.
Well, we were in it. It was chocolate everywhere. So, but. Can you imagine 3-year-old?
So I guess one thing I'd like to ask is this something that parents just drop their children off, or do the parents need to stay there with them?
This is a community event. Parents, this is not a daycare, and so we made sure when we took over, we made sure to stress to that point, because we are not a daycare, and we want parents to be involved as well. And so we want parents to see what it is that we're doing as well. Now, some things their parents may not be, as far as fishing, but they're more than welcome. This is not a kid-only program. We want the parents to see what we're doing, and if
a lot of times they'll jump in.
That's what I said. They get involved.
Yes.
Like in the chocolate class, a lot of them.
A lot of the parents got in and loved it. Okay. Parents came up to us during our basketball league wanting to know how they could volunteer money. And of course, because we're Metro government, we can't accept monetary, but we would stress to them, your volunteer time. You being here, watching your son and daughter play basketball, and we did a co-ed. We don't do the separate. It's co-ed because, again, we're teaching sportsmanship, confidence. Some kids never played basketball before. Some kids have certain limitation, but to have those kids that were playing basketball recognize that without us saying anything, and they made sure that those kids that had those limitations got the ball. And when the kids made the shot, the same kids that are Louisville has talent, the same kids cheered on that child. So it's stuff like that. So no, parents can participate.
So chocolatier, basketball, wrestling, boxing, culinary.
We teach the kids how to cook.
So now where are these classes held?
Great question. Louisville is amazing.
Yeah,
and
we know.
We have, and not only our partnership with Humana, Louisville Parks and Rec, Dare to Care. Now we're going to be teaming up with the YMCA.
And even just local businesses.
Just local businesses throughout Texas Roadhouse, Academy Sports, Walmart. Like, we just go out and they're eager to assist us. And so we have them at various locations, churches. We already have team up with West Chestnut Street Baptist Church and use their facility for like etiquette classes. A lot of our kids don't know etiquette, so that's a lost.
Is awesome.
That's a lost gem. So we're going to teach our kids and adults and us and officers etiquette. So yeah, so we go all over.
So do you have, like, when there are festivals, do you go out to try to promote?
Yes.
We do, yes.
We do.
Okay. And so if somebody's having something and they want you there,
we'll come.
We'll set up a table or whatever we're accommodated with. I can bring tablecloth, cover, swag that we have. I have brochures that we give out, which has our information on it as well. A QR code if you don't want to take one or don't have the time to take one, you're going to end up losing it. We have a QR code, takes you straight to the website.
And we'll sign you up right there.
Business cards, we can make it as easy as possible.
Is there any stories that have come out of any of your activities that you saw a kid come in one way, but by the end of the program, this kid is different?
We have a lot of those.
Kingston is that one.
Oh. So we have a young gentleman. So when we did our basketball league, we broke it down into elementary and middle school. And so we had a young kid, he's in elementary school. We don't want to say his name, but he's probably like 6 or 7 years old. He has some behavioral problems. And so one day after he played, they were in line. And so before I tell the story, every activity that we do, one thing that Chief Blowell is big on, we don't want our kids worried about their stomachs. So with that being said, we feed every last one of our kids.
What about their stomachs?
In all of our programs. So they're not worried about if they're going to be fed or not. So everything that we do, there's going to be food. Everything. And so he was in line and he was getting food and something happened where he was doing something and we asked him, that's not how you're supposed to behave. It was we didn't know, but his anger took over and we handled it very well. And so our first instinct, and we're going to be honest, we're going to be very transparent here, was he's going to have to go. Okay?
Because that would be your first.
Because that's your first instinct. I mean, we're all human. We may wear the uniform, work for the police department. We're like, you're going to have to go.
Because
you've been disruptive.
Gotcha.
And so we were able to handle the situation. And I realized that he was there with not his parent, but his guardian, who is a grandmother. So we all know how that goes, right? And so we was like, no, he's not. He's going to stay. We let him have his moment. The next week, we didn't think he was going to come back, and he came back, but we didn't think that he was going to say anything to us, right? He came over and gave me the biggest hug. Oh. And every time that he sees us, he gives us a hug. So it's little stuff like that that we're getting the kid. And
our comment after it happened was, that's exactly the kind of kids we want to reach.
Yes.
That's what we want to happen. Those are the kids we need in our program.
Because if we didn't help him, how's he going to be when he gets older?
Learn?
Yeah.
How do you learn? And so it's little stuff, but it's big, it's something big.
And it's just showing people kindness.
Very. The basic.
Grace.
The basic. Because we want grace, So we're going to give, it doesn't matter the age, we got to give everyone grace and the opportunity. Absolutely. And so now he is in, along with his other siblings, in every single PAL activity that we have. And we make sure that they're in it. So we're not supposed to have favorites, but we make sure that they're in every activity.
So what do you hope that kids get out of this program? I mean, you just told the story.
I'll
there.
take it back.
So.
I'll take it back to know that just because, like, we intentionally do not, sometimes if we can, do not wear our uniform. We want them to see us as human beings. Mm-hmm. One thing that Chief Alarwa preaches a lot is that we are the community. Mm-hmm. We are just like anybody else. We just happen to be law enforcement. Mm-hmm. They just happen to work for LMPD. It doesn't mean that that's who we are. Mm-hmm. And we want the kids to understand that, not to be afraid of us, mm-hmm. to come to us just like he did, and all the other kids as well. We want them to know self-confidence, mm-hmm. sportsmanship, just be a nice individual, mm-hmm. and learn how to problem solve. So with that, we sat with them and we problem solve. Some kids have breakdown, and we allow them to have their breakdown, and then we tell them, I need you to use your words to tell me what is going on with you.
That's awesome. And
their parents are right there.
Mm-hmm. I typically, on my end, because I mainly like check the kids in, I like to show them kindness. Even though the parent is right there, I'll be like, what is your name? I'm talking to them. Yes. Mm-hmm. Some of the kids, who knows what history they have, what's going on at home, who knows at all. We've had, where we had the basketball program, it was more of an open gym throughout whenever we don't have the basketball program. So we had some kids show up and they didn't know anything about it. We let them sign up, and then of course a guardian or a parent came for that. But like, we talked to them personally, we're not going above them thinking that they're anything else. We wanted to make sure that we heard what they said, oh, hey, I don't have a water bottle. Can you help me? I don't have a jersey. This is too big, too small. We're accommodating in some way to try to help them out. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we've talked so much. See, our time is ended.
Oh, wow. We have so much to say about PAL program.
See?
We have so much.
So I'll let whoever wants to have final words.
Oh, she always has the final word.
I mean, but I'm going to pass it.
Okay. We'll let Madison. What would you like people to know about PAL?
Oh gosh. I mean, we're always here. We're here, even though, it has different management, different people running it, we're still out there trying to communicate. We're trying to change things, mm-hmm. It was ran by, again, one person. And that was a lot. So having someone to do an admin, someone to be the director that still has another job, I want mm-hmm. people to know, even people that know the PAL program, want them to know that we're not, ignoring them, that we are here, we're still helping them in any way possible. There's always events coming out, and it's not all about just the events itself, it's about what event can help that one child. Mm-hmm. So, is that one kid more of an introvert and they want to do, they just need tutoring. They just want to be on the computer. Mm-hmm. What do we have to help them? Because if they're not into sports, what do we have? So we try to do whatever we can to help. But I think it's just reach out to us as we try to reach out to everyone mm-hmm. About the PAL program. So, yeah.
So they're going to cut us off. So I will say thank you all for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for all that you do for this community.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, please follow up if you have a young person that would be interested in these many activities.
Yes.
Give out the website real quick.
Louisville-police.org.
Yep.
.org, sorry.
Thanks for watching Metro Matters on Metro TV.